Let me ask you a question right at the start, and I want you to really sit with it. When was the last time a complaint solved a problem? I mean, genuinely solved it. Not vented it, not shared it, not commiserated over it, but solved it. I'll tell you the answer. Rarely. Almost never. And yet here is what I observe in the people I've met over my lifetime of studying human behavior. The average person, and use that term precisely, the average person spends an extraordinary amount of their mental and emotional energy complaining about the weather, about the economy, about their boss, about their family, about the government, about their neighbor, about their health, about their luck. On and on it goes. And here's what bothers me most about this. It's not just that complaining is unpleasant to be around, though it certainly is. What bothers me is what complaining costs the person doing it. You see, your mind is one of the most powerful instruments ever created. The capacity of the human brain is staggering. Neuroscientists will tell you that the brain processes somewhere in the range of 70,000 thoughts per day. 70,000. Now, if even a fraction of those thoughts are complaints, nothing works out for me. This is too hard. Why does this always happen to me? You've just weaponized the most powerful instrument you possess against yourself. Every complaint is an instruction. When you say, "I can never catch a break," your brain treats that as a directive. It begins looking for evidence that you can never catch a break. And trust me, it will find it. Not because it's true, but because that's what you asked it to look for. This is called confirmation bias, and it's one of the most powerful psychological forces in human behavior. You see what you're looking for. Always, complainers are always finding more to complain about. It's not bad luck, it's bad programming. I want to tell you about two men I knew early in my career. They were colleagues, same company, same territory, same products to sell, same market conditions. One of them, let's call him Robert, spent most of his time telling me how the market was saturated, how customers were cheap, how management didn't support the team, how the product wasn't as good as the competition. Every Monday morning, Robert had a new grievance. The other man, let's call him Paul, had the same complaints available to him, the same difficult market, the same challenges. But when I asked Paul how business was going, he'd say, "You know what? It's tough out there. Let me tell you what I'm trying." 5 years later, Robert was still in the same chair, still complaining, still performing at the same level. Paul had built his own business and was training other salespeople. Same wind, different sales. Here's my definition of complaining, and I want you to write this down. Complaining is the decision to describe the problem instead of solving it. That's all it is. It's a choice to narrate rather than act. And that choice, made daily, becomes a habit. And a habit, practiced for years, becomes a destiny. Now, I want to make an important distinction here. There is a difference between complaining and communicating. Communicating says, here's a problem I've identified. Here's what I think it's costing us. Here's what I propose we do. Complaining says, can you believe this? This is terrible. Someone should do something. One is constructive. One is corrosive. One moves forward. One moves in circles. Here's something else I want you to understand. It's not just psychological, it's physical. When you complain, your body releases cortisol. That's the stress hormone. It raises your blood pressure, dulls your thinking, weakens your immune system. Repeated over time, the chronic stress state that complaining creates actually reshapes the neural pathways in your brain, literally making it easier to complain and harder to think optimistically. In other words, complaining makes you physically worse at solving problems. Isn't that remarkable? The very habit people use to cope with difficulty actually reduces their capacity to overcome it. So here's what I suggest. Instead of a complaint, ask a question. 3 specific questions. First, what is actually within my control here? Not what's unfair, not what should be different. What can I actually influence? Second, what would I have to believe to feel differently about this situation? Because our feelings follow our interpretations, and our interpretations are a choice. Third, what is the smallest possible action I could take right now to improve this? Not solve it completely, not fix the whole system, just one small improvement. These 3 questions are the antidote to the complaining habit. And let me add one more tool. Gratitude, not as a feel-good platitude, as a genuine discipline. Every time you notice a complaint forming, and you will notice because you'll start to become aware of how often it happens, replace it with a question. What is currently working? There is always something working. The business may be struggling, but you have your health. The relationship may be difficult, but you have your experience. The finances may be tight, but you have your mind. Start there. The invitation here is my challenge to you, and it's just for 1 week. For 7 days, every time you notice yourself about to complain, stop, don't suppress it. Just redirect it. That's it. Just one question. 7 days. I promise you, by the end of that week, you will have moved further than any amount of complaining would have taken you. The world doesn't pay extra for complaints. It pays for solutions. Be a solution person. Start today.